In this video, we're going to be talking about Logan. Now, Logan has a little bit of a stigma, so we're going to take a look at the entire Logan City Council, break down the best locations for an investment property, talk about the price points, and talk about some locations you may want to avoid. My name's Luke. I talk all things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom on the channel. I also run a Brisbane buyers agency called Purpose Property, so head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free strategy session. Make sure you stick around to the end of today's video because I'm going to reveal a tool that can give you a lot more information about properties in Logan City Council. Now, to understand Logan, you need to understand Greater Brisbane or Southeast Queensland as a whole region. So what I've got on screen is Southeast Queensland as far as Noosa and all the way down to the Gold Coast. Now, Logan sits on the south side of Brisbane City Council and just borders onto Redland Bay Council, which is on Brisbane's Bayside. You've also got Ipswich to the west, Moreton Bay to the north, and then the scenic rim further out on the south. A lot of land supply in those areas like Somerset, Lockyer Valley, Toowoomba, and the scenic rim. One of the great things about Logan City Council is it has proximity to both Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Lots of people drive north to Brisbane City, or they can also head south to the Gold Coast on the weekend, head to the beach, or even work in the Gold Coast as well. Depending on the suburb in Logan, there are great options to go north or south, and there's also some really interesting living and lifestyle opportunities in Logan City Council, whether it's nearby water or nearby state parklands. So let's take a deeper dive into Google Maps, and we're going to do a bit of a suburb by suburb look around Logan City Council. I'm going to share my thoughts, talk about the current price points, and we'll go from there. Now we're in Google Maps. I've got a very faint outline of what is Logan City Council. So let me just run you through it. We've got this red line here north of Greenbank, up towards Hillcrest, all the way up towards Underwood, Rochedale South, and Springwood, heading along to the Bayside, down to Carbrook, and then all the way south towards Cedar Creek, Jimboomba. So Logan City Council is actually a massive amount of area. It's really focused in that northeastern corridor where there's access to the M1, access to a lot of amenities, schools are built up, established suburbs, and that's where the focus would be for investment opportunities, is looking in those landlocked suburbs so that no further properties can be built out, and looking for great living, lifestyle, and accessibility. Now we're going to start on the northern side, so this would be the priciest side of Logan, and that is in Rochedale South. So Rochedale South and Springwood are those most northern suburbs in Logan City Council, and they're quite expensive at this point in time. You have the main shopping centre here at Springwood. You've also got the 8 Mile Plains bus station, which is due to be extended down towards Springwood at a point in time. And Springwood is Logan City's hub. It's the town centre of Logan, and that's where a lot of the business district is. There's even some hotels and motels in the CBD of Springwood there, and it's going to continue to grow as the central location within Logan City. Now, if you didn't know this already, I actually grew up in Logan and didn't realize as a kid that the area had a stigma, or the actual council had a stigma, until I was much older. I grew up in a suburb called Daisy Hill. This is a fantastic area. It backs onto the Daisy Hill Conservation Park, and it also has a great school in Logan known as John Paul College. It's a private school. Fees run around about that $15,000 per year, and there's a lot of high income earners living in Springwood, Daisy Hill, Shayla Park, and Cornubia. You'll notice that these are all the suburbs north of the M1, and they're your most expensive suburbs in Logan on standard size blocks. You can get more expensive suburbs further south, but typically we're talking about acreages at that point in time. So for a standard 600 to 700 square meter block, these suburbs, Springwood, Rochedale South, Daisy Hill, and Shayla Park, and Cornubia, are really the premium side of Logan, particularly because they're backed onto the state forest, so no further properties can be built northeast of these locations. They have great schools, and they're high income earners who want to live in these areas. Like I said, you can go north to Brisbane or south to the Gold Coast for work and play. So you really, the doors are opened up there. You can also head to the Bayside along Redland Bay, go to Wellington Point, go to Redland Bay, Victoria Point, and enjoy the Bayside on the weekend as well. At this point in time, 4-bedders in Daisy Hill, Shayla Park, and Springwood would sell for around that $850,000 to $900,000 for a standard 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and 3-bedroom homes run anywhere between $650,000 to say $750,000. We're not talking cheap price points in these suburbs at this point in time, but that's your premium end of Logan. Now we move to some more notorious suburbs. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. You've got Woodridge, Logan Central, Kingston, and Slacks Creek. Now these are areas that have long been known as lower socioeconomic areas. And I'm not trying to bag on any of these locations. It's just a general chat around my opinions of the suburbs as an investment opportunity, talking roughly about the demographics and the opportunity for a long-term investment. Now these are significantly lower price points. So you can buy houses in Woodridge and Slacks Creek as investments for around $400 to say $500,000. But the thing for me is it's not a higher income earning area. It's not necessarily aspirational for higher income earners to buy and own properties in these areas. And that may hurt long-term growth projections of these properties if higher income earners aren't willing to pay more for these properties down the track. A plus side of these locations is that they do have the train line. They're very multicultural. There's Bunnings locations here in Underwood, and they are affordable. But for me, I wouldn't be spending my money in Kingston, Logan Central, Woodridge, or Slacks Creek at this point in time. I think there's better value in Logan at a similar price point or slightly higher price point, which might have better potential for tenants and might have better living and lifestyle options. So moving just south of that pocket, so we've gone through the expensive pocket on the north side of the M1. We've had a chat about those notorious suburbs, particularly Logan Central and Woodridge have the biggest reputation, and Logan Lee is another one of those, just south of the train station here. But Meadowbrook, on the flip side, just north of that, has a good reputation. Some of the blocks can be quite small in Meadowbrook, but it's got access to the TAFE, it's got the hospital, it's got Griffith University campus, and it's also got a golf course. So there's a lot going for Meadowbrook as a living and lifestyle opportunity. You've got the Logan motorway running east and west. You've got the M1 running north and south. So Meadowbrook could be a great pick for an investment opportunity if you can find a property with good land value. Now, there's a big band here running across from east to west, all the way from Regents Park, Boronia Heights, Heritage Park, Crestmead, Marsden, Waterford West, Bethania, Eden's Landing, Logan Home, and Eagleby. This is the true band of Logan that's been established. So from Eagleby all the way towards Heritage Park, there's a big band of established areas that have been built up at least over 20 years ago, and there could be good buying opportunities in these pockets. We really like areas that are landlocked, so we look around the Logan River. We like Logan Home and Tanamera, which are slightly higher price points. Anywhere along the train line that has good socioeconomics, so Bethania is good buying. Locations that are landlocked and have access via transport infrastructure like Bethania and Eden's Landing have good value for money at this point in time because they've got the train stations to go north and south. The demographics for these areas are reasonable for the price points, and there's potentially good buying at this point in time. Interestingly enough, there's actually a Bunnings in Bethania. So if you've got the Bunnings hype and you want to follow Bunnings around Australia and see where Bunnings stores have opened up as potential investment opportunities, then this might tick your box from a Bunnings point of view. Another school I like to talk about is Canterbury College in Waterford. It's a competitor to John Paul College. Again, it's a private school that has quite good school grades and quite good reputation locally. So that draws demand from the local suburbs for kids to go and attend this school. Moving into those western pockets, you've got Hillcrest, Boronia Heights, Heritage Park, Regents Park, Crestmead and Marsden. Now, Crestmead and Marsden are probably on the higher end of demand at this point in time, so there might be good value buying in those locations. I'll probably be steering clear of Boronia Heights or Regents Park, just because I think there might be better opportunity in other Logan suburbs that we've talked about. This leads me into the large land parcels available in Logan. So this is Park Ridge, Logan Reserve, Homeview, Logan Village, Chambers Flat, and one that's talked about a lot is Yarrabilba. Now, these areas have massive amounts of land supply. You can see here in Park Ridge, this is where developers are targeting at the moment. They're trying to buy up acreages from farmers or homeowners that have large land parcels and do a land subdivision. Typically, they're going to cut these lots into small sizes between, say, 300 to 500 square meters and build specky homes, 3-bed, 1-bath or 4-bed, 2-bath homes that are low cost and churn them out. The reason I don't like these large land supply areas is particularly because there's going to be continued supply. So if you're buying a home in these areas, then in the next 1 to 2 to 3 years, the developers are going to continue to cut up that land, new homes will be built, and that's going to affect the supply and demand ratio for your property in that suburb. We want to find properties that are landlocked, that have limited supply and growing demand. So I would particularly be avoiding the Yarrabilbas, Park Ridges, Chambers Flats, and anywhere further south of those locations. Avoid the new housing land estates, in my opinion. Go for land value, long-term capital growth, and holding for at least 5 to 15 years. When you buy an investment property, you shouldn't be looking to buy for the short term and trying to get, that rapid growth. We do want that as well, but you should be buying for long-term growth potential to grow your portfolio and grow your passive income at the same time. The last little pocket of Logan City Council that I wanted to touch on today that we haven't talked about so far is in Beenleigh, Windaroo, and Mount Warren Park. Now, Beenleigh has long been talked about as an area that's going to have a lot more growth come to it because of future development plans, but that hasn't come to fruition at this point in time. For the last 5-10 years, there's been talk that Beenleigh would go ahead and there would be lots of infrastructure and growth in that area. But that is an area to watch over the next 5 to 10 years to see as the infrastructure grows what the opportunity might look like. Another little known secret is Eagleby, and they're looking to build a connection point between Eagleby up towards Cornubia. That would connect it across the Logan River and potentially have Eagleby go ahead even further as an investment opportunity. At this point in time, Eagle is cheaper than its northern locations like Logan Home, Tanamera, Bethania, but over time these areas might continue to gentrify and present good value. So that's been a breakdown of a lot of the suburbs across Logan City Council. As you can see, Logan has a bit of a stigma about it, but it doesn't apply to the entire council. There's tens of suburbs in there that have great growth potential, that might have great cash flow potential as well, and present a real opportunity in this greater Brisbane market. Moreton Bay and Logan City Council tend to be the focus councils for people buying at lower price points, and Logan has some affordable suburbs which also rent really well. So you can find a balance between growth potential and cash flow. Now, for sticking around this far through the video, we're going to give you that bonus tip, which is looking at something called Logan PD Hub, where you can get a whole heap more information when you're doing your due diligence and research on a potential investment property. So if you head to loganhub.com.au/dashboard, it will take you to this page where you can do a whole lot more research about a property in Logan City Council. You can look at their interactive mapping, obtain property reports for free, look at the flood reports from council, planning inquiries, development, zones, application lodgements, development fees, and so on. There's a whole breadth of information that's available absolutely for free by Logan City Council. I really think Logan City Council's done a great job of giving you information about properties. So use this as you do your due diligence. It's something that we do in the buyers agency here in Brisbane. We want to know as much as we possibly can from both free and paid resources. So go out there and use Logan PD Hub if you're looking to buy an investment on the south side of Greater Brisbane. Now that's been my breakdown of Logan City Council. Hopefully you found this video insightful. If you did, make sure you drop a like. And I'm sure you've got some questions after watching the video, so make sure you leave a comment down below with your question and click this video over here for more things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.